well, YouTube. My son's performance was dope. I uploaded some videos, and it's just so crazy because in 1 month he will have prom, and June 8th is the end. That's it. He graduates high school. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this. Like, I am a parent of a high school graduate. Period. Like, I'm officially old. Like, I think that's safe to say. Like, if your child is in college, he going to college in the fall. Yeah, I'm old, but I don't look it. And plus, I'm not old numerically. Number wise. But yeah. But quickly, I want to start a petition. I'm actually going to make a complaint because, as y'all know, I was a para for 9 years. When I first started this channel, I actually was in the locker room and I was bored, so that's what prompted this channel, and I didn't stop. And thank you for following me all these years. It's been years now. Wow, it's been 3 years. That quick, because 3 years. Wow. 3 years. I've changed careers since then. And thank y'all for riding with me. And I'm almost at 1,000. But quickly, I wanted to talk about harassment in black schools. And it only happens at black schools because the good thing about being a substitute, or when you work for the DOE, you get to see, they let you work wherever in any district, and you really get to see the ins and the outs of what goes on, right? Different teaching styles. And I think I told y'all that, what happens in, black schools, it doesn't necessarily happen in white schools. Midwood High School is a very old school, but it doesn't look it. And they clean the bathrooms and everything's good. So I come to my son's performance, South Shore and Canarsie, which has 6 schools in it. It actually shut down 2014 for low performance, and I guess it also said safety issue on the internet, whatever. But I understand school safety, they're told to do whatever, but this is a difference between doing your job and harassment. And I made a complaint before in my son's school. He goes to the Franklin K. Lane campus, and the really big issue is some of the uncommon schools, they don't have their own building, so they're forced to share with public schools. And I understand that, but something gotta give. And it's just a shame that in 2026, there's still racism even in the schools. And I say that because I've worked at Midwood High School. They have no metal detectors whatsoever. They're not gonna get it, right? James Madison now, they have metal detectors, but the parents and the guests do not have to walk through that. And I agree with that. Parents and guests should not have to go through that. I'm not a student. I'm not a threat. I'm not a danger. I don't understand why, if I'm coming, like, it got so annoying to me as a parent that for my son's senior year, for PTA, I'm like, you know what? I work 9 to 5 anyway, which is very late. I don't get, I don't get home till close to 6. So a lot of the times, if you're a parent, if PCA, that's like the last slot they have is 6 o'clock. So then I end up doing a phone call. Because like by the time I get to his school, there's no time to talk to the teachers. So, and I did that for 9th, 10th, and 11th. I would go in person. And then I was like, well, let me just, because when I was a para, I was able to get there earlier. And then I noticed last year, by the time I would get there from work, all the teachers are gone, rightfully so, because they've been there all day. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just talk to them over the phone, And I actually have a colleague, she does that. She got 3 kids. So imagine go to 3 different schools and she just talks to teachers on the phone. And I'm that type of parent too. But I used to talk on the phone and come in person. And then his senior year, I was like, let me just do it over the phone. Because I'm tired of going there. And, just tired of going in there. And it feels like I'm visiting someone in jail. It doesn't feel like I'm entering a school. And I don't think that's fair. I feel like my petition that I want to do, I feel like either everybody gets metal detectors or, parents and their guests do not have to go through that. And I feel like as a parent, why do I have to go through that? That's not fair. This lady really took me to the side and was like, lift up your foot. I'm like, miss, what are you doing? Like, I had to stop her. Like, now you doing too much, And then it's like, obviously it was my jacket that went off, whatever, but that's just doing too much because, and my thing is, they don't do that in the white schools, but it's only in the black areas, high schools, where we going through this. All we want to do is see our kids perform or whatever we got going on to visit the school, and you got to go through all of that. That's why some parents don't even come, because it's like they know they going to get into it with somebody, with a school safety officer. Like, some of them want to be cops so bad. Just go ahead and be a cop. Like, it's a rain. But comment, like, and subscribe if you have a kid that's in public or charter school, or your charter school has to share a building. What is your experience like? And I feel like us as a black community, if everybody comes together and really make noise, they would have to oblige. There's no difference, it's so much division. And it's like, I made a complaint on my son's high school and it did calm down, so I don't know if that helped, but I know that it's gonna take multiple voices. It's gonna take multiple people to say, hey, we don't need to be going through this. And then on the BET documentary years ago, I feel like this was like right after COVID, there was actually a documentary about that, how the same thing down south, metal detectors in the hood but not in the Columbine. Right now is known for the first school shootout. They do not have metal detectors, and they had a whole shootout. Yes, it was 20-some years ago, but you would think, okay, but yeah, the places where stuff like that is really happening, they're not having metal detectors. And some of y'all might say, well, Franklin K. Lane was mad bad back in the day. And I agree. But you have other schools that have stabbings and everything else. So it's not fair. It's not fair. This is supposed to be America. At the end of the day, we're citizens. Once upon a time, we weren't citizens. Once upon a time, you could be born in America and still not be a citizen, because us as black people, that's what we had to fight for, unfortunately. But it's 2026. Why are we still going through what we're going through? Comment, like, subscribe. I will be making my complaint. It's the weekend, so I don't know if anybody 301 is available, but I definitely will be calling Monday, if anything. And it's just crazy. It's just like, should not be going through that at all. And those are my thoughts.